For this week, we've got Sonic 4 Episode 1. Just like with And Yet It Moves, for this week we've got a downloadable game. And one that has caused some controversy up till its release and even after. Sonic 4. The actual sequel to Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, whatever, back when, yeah. This is a sequel to a really old series. Much like in the vein of Mega Man 9 and 10 being sequels to the old Mega Mans, but unlike that, Sonic 4 is being done in a more upgraded fashion, so to speak, and, as you can tell from the title, episodic. Just like with the older Sonic games, when it comes to story, there isn't much you have to expect. Okay, Eggman's being a jerk, and Sonic's like, I don't want my woodland friends being turned into robots. So Sonic goes and messes all his plans up. Yes, that is my explanation on the story. But this is truly a Sonic game done in the same style of the originals. Just, it may not be as good as we remembered him being. The stages are designed okay. I say okay because there are some good elements that, make you feel like Sonic, run through the loops. You got some of that speed, you got some of that platforming, and then there are these segments that slow down. And I realize that all the old Sonic games were built on a good mix between speed and platforming. But when you're waiting for all these platforms to rise and fall, there are quite a few moments in this game that really disrupt the movement of the game. And it's some of those segments are just boring. And there are some areas of the game also, most noticeably in like the casino stage, that just some of the things don't work well. And as far as like a design of the stage standpoint goes, I mean, looking at the past games, some of the gimmicks of the stages are pretty lackluster. Of course, running and jumping isn't all you're going to do. Obviously, there's a boss fight at the end of the third act for every stage, and then there's extra stages you can get at the end, and extra bosses. Bosses are really easy. Really. And when I mention the stages, there are 4 main stages, and then there's a last world you can unlock after you've beaten them and gotten all the emeralds and stuff. And just like in the older Sonic games, you have emerald sequences. Now, they're okay, they can be kind of frustrating, but you can play them in the early stages. The only hassle is getting the 50 rings with some of the stuff that happens, but you can pretty much manage it. Ugh, so much negativity, Roto, what's going on? Okay, you're right. Let's move on to other subjects. Okay, we've covered gameplay, the non-existent story. Let's talk about the graphics. Okay, the graphics are actually really good. Like, this footage is all from the Wii version, and for a Wii game, it's running pretty smooth. Now, the game is also available on Xbox Live Arcade and the PSN, but I felt, I have a Wii, so I got the Wii version, and it looks good. If anything, it looks very smooth, crisp. The graphics, the colors are nice. The graphics of the game are, for what it is, its best point. And to go from the only high point for me, I have to bring up the music. Okay, now I like Sonic Team's music that they've done. Even the old games had pretty catchy tunes, and I'm sorry, but the music in this game sucks. Just listen to this part, okay? It's just See what I mean? Now, the game can be fairly punishing, but I always felt that I died the most by poor level design than actual lack of skill. And when you think about how easy it is to amass lives by playing like the second casino stage, I think, it's just ridiculous. Anyways, I'm gonna go on with my score, if that's okay with you guys. For a downloadable title, Sonic 4 looks pretty good. Looks slick. Sadly, looks can be deceiving. The platforming and level design is just mediocre looking at what Sonic Team's done in the past. I can't stand the music. And all in all, it's a pretty short game for $15. So, It pains me as a Sonic fan, but I gotta give Sonic 4 Episode 1 a C-. It is exactly what whiny Sonic fans have been asking for a long time, but sadly it barely makes average standards. I'm gonna go play Sonic Colors. Hey guys, what'd you think of the review? Liked it? Hated it? Well, leave a comment for sure. I just wanted to say, if you ever think my scores are too low or too high, they are my opinion, and, you don't have to agree with them. That's all fine and good. With that said, I hope you guys will check out our website at GamersArcadia.com and our YouTube page. See you there!